And there's this constant debate about working from home or the hybrid or fully into the office. Me, I'm a hybrid girl because I like to dress up and show up at least once or twice a
Because
week.
you always look good, girl.
Hello, this is Live a Little as a 9 to 5er with JD Obat, and today I have my very first guest, which is my best friend as well, Tena Ogu. Hello.
Hello.
The conversation today is going to be mainly about work-life balance because as adults we are going through it, and I want to know how we manage our work stress and our life stress. But first of all, Tena, please can you tell me how you got into project management, because I know you have a undergrad degree in psychology and a master's in neuroimaging, right?
Yes.
So please, how do we get into project management?
I'm still trying to figure out how I got into project management. I won't lie to you. But yeah, I think it's one of these things where you find out that careers are not really linear, and what you think you're going to do when you get into uni is not necessarily what you're going to do a few years down the line. But again, there's still room for growth and pivoting. So I think for me, after I finished uni, I went back to Nigeria for a year. NYSC, you all know the drill.
NYSC is like the horror.
the horrors. And unfortunately for me, I worked for Dad for a year. But yeah, I was in a manager position. I was running managing day-to-day operations for a production company, which was very interesting, a bit of a pivot as well. But it did give me some sort of background into that, managing different areas, managing productivity, production kind of thing. When I came back to the UK, COVID hit. So stuck at home, nothing happening. Tried applying for research assistant roles, assistant psychology roles, to try and still pursue psychology in that way. But again, it was lockdown. Everything was locked down. Nothing was working. I joined everybody to bake banana bread, right? I baked banana bread in the house.
We had the games night thing as well.
Yes, exactly.
We had
games
like
night.
True team. I was in Nigeria. I was in Nigeria.
Oh, we had Zoom game nights. It was so fun. We tried to live our best lives, even inside. So that was that. I did more writing. I did a lot of things actually in that 1 year at home. It was great. But I think at the end of that year, I was like, I need to make some money.
To do business so that I will start making money as soon as possible.
It's necessary. It's very necessary to keep up with the life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I did? I worked in Superdrug. I worked in Superdrug for a year. Not for a year, sorry, for a few months. It was big change for me, very interesting. But again, it was just a way of getting myself out there, right? Getting out of my comfort zone, because I didn't work in undergrad like that. So it was all new for me, and I did that for a few months. And then I just did a Hail Mary and applied for this consultancy company. So what they do is they have different streams, and one of the streams was project management, which I thought was interesting. I thought, I like coordinating things. I like getting things done, putting things together. How hard could this be?
What is the story? How hard could this be?
How hard could this be? Did I not find out? But anywho, so I joined them. I did a 6-week training course, and then after you do your training with them, you do interviews with different companies. You can work with those different companies doing different roles. So that was how I got my first role with a financial institution.
Okay.
So a project management role in IT, in finance, which always fun times. But I started off there basically, and honestly, 6 weeks of training, it's not enough.
How did you manage 6 weeks?
Honestly, I will give a lot of credit to my very first manager when I got in. He was very cognizant of the fact that he was taking in graduates and taking in trainees. So he was very well aware that we are super entry level, we're all new to this, and we need to learn. So he was somehow just really able to strike a balance between, giving us responsibility, coaching, checking in. He had a weekly check-in with us where we would start with scores on the doors, and you tell him your rating out of 10. How are you feeling? 1 to 10. And then depending on your number, you explain why you're feeling at that number.
Good managers. That's how you know good managers.
Good managers. Honestly, I don't manage anyone right now, and when I do, that guy is my role model of how to be a manager.
I'm managing someone right now, and I don't know how that's gonna go because we just started this week.
I believe in you.
Literally just started managing someone this week, and he's an apprentice, and I don't know. He's 17. And I don't know how I'm going to help you, but I'm going to take tips from this manager of yours.
You should.
So when you started, I know that it was COVID, so you were fully working from home. And there's this constant debate about working from home or the hybrid or fully into the office. Me, I'm a hybrid girl because I like to dress up and show up at least once or twice a week.
Because you always look good, girl.
I try. I like to dress up and show up. I like to put on my makeup, the outfit check and everything. But then I also like to look a mess at home, just relax, having the day, and so that's it, homeless chic. Thank you, that's the word. So I like that. So I like the hybrid part of working where I go in a couple of days a week and then work from home a couple of days a week. But from transitioning into fully working from home and then being told that I'm working now 2 days a week, sometimes 3 days, how is that transition for you?
Expensive.
It's because you commute. Yeah,
I commute. It's an expensive transition. Also, look, during COVID, I really settled into the homeless look. So I did not have clothes for the office.
Doesn't look like it.
I know. I
look
didn't
like
have clothes for the office. So that was also part of the expense, right? In trying to build a work wardrobe.
Okay, understand.
So I think there was a stretch where I tell my mom on a Monday evening after work, I'm like, oh, I'm going to the shopping center. Mom's like, do you shop every week? I'm like, yes. Because I buy one thing a week, right? That was kind of my thing, is buy one thing a week. Buy a shirt.
And then
buy trousers.
Yes,
exactly. So
the
I
basics.
don't have to do one big shopping spree
haul.
to go into the office.
Yeah.
So I can start picking up little things. But I think also it doesn't, there's not really much of a dress code for my work as well.
Well, I can remember the bum shop story, but it's alright.
So there's not really much of a dress code. It's kind of vibes, and it's also, I think it depends on who you're working with and what teams, and so you could see just such a range, right? So it's I'm even at a point where I'm trying to come out of, I think I fell into t-shirt and jeans stretch for a while because that's acceptable, that's fine,
and that's comfortable.
Exactly, it's comfortable. I'm like, oh, I want to get out looking comfortable. Let me try and look cute. So there's also that.
I don't think you need to try too hard, but
oh, thank you. But transitioning to going into the office, it was a hard transition.
Okay.
It was a hard transition. It's only 2 days a week, right? Which is not too bad. But again, I don't live where I work, right? So I have to commute into the city. Sometimes I stay with you. A wonderful host.
Always welcome. Always welcome.
But it's how do I put it? So it threw off my routine quite a bit when I first started going in often, right? Because you have to wake up early, you catch the train, you get in, you do your long commute. So you're not going to the gym in the morning, right? When I would have preferred to go to the gym in the morning, I can't go to the gym in the morning, I can't go to the gym in the evening. You now have to
tired.
The gym days. Exactly, you're tired. Then I found out we had a gym in the office, lifesaver. I'm like, okay, I'll just go to the gym in the office.
Gym in the office.
I know,
Needed.
I know. It's 10 out of 10, honestly. I recommend having a gym in the office. Everybody put gyms in your offices.
Yeah, right.
Whoever's in charge.
It's not in the budget.
Whoever's in charge, find someone in the budget, put a gym in your office. People will come to work early.
Early, or leave late.
Yes. So and I started doing the maths just on the cost of it as well, right? I think this year I had to be strict, a bit more strict. I know it's just February, but I've been strict and I felt it. It's no buying lunch. Make sure you pack your lunch to the office. No taking taxis to the station or back from the station. I'm like, your girl's tired and it's early in the morning and it's cold, but I'm like, I will do it. I will march to the station in the cold to save myself that little 13 pounds.
13 pounds is not little, not in this economy.
13 pounds is not little. 13 pounds not little because you do that twice, that's 26 pounds. Yeah, 2 days, that's 26 pounds.
Okay.
2 lunches, that's an extra 20 pounds.
My heart just keeps. That's 26, that's 46 pounds.
Yeah.
Okay. No.
But I think also I do like the hybrid working. I see
hybrid.
this as
Go hybrid.
I do like hybrid. I wish it's so touch and go because if I didn't have to commute, I would be in the office a lot more. Yes, if I didn't have to commute, because I also like that separation of work and home. It's because I work from my living room, so I feel like when I'm seeing my laptop at the end of the day, it kind of throws me a little bit. Okay. But when I go to the office, I leave my laptop in the bag when I come home, so I don't set it up. So I don't have.
I need to learn that
because
I'm not good at that. I come back home, my laptop is out of my bag, and I'm already working overtime, unpaid overtime, of course, because no one actually tells me to do the job. But I just feel like, let me get this done before I get back to the office tomorrow.
I think so. Another thing that made going to the office a bit good for me is I joined a women's network at work, which, you know, was, I just saw a mail for it on all those meetups things they send out. I was like, yeah, I'll join. Yeah. And then after attending one session, I was like, oh, do you need help with, like, you know, organizing, coordinating? Yeah. So I joined the coordinating as well. So it introduced me to so many people. So now there's people to see at the office.
At the office, yeah. Not just voices and
exactly.
What they call them,
not
the
just
teams
Zoom,
meetings and stuff.
So there's actual people to see at the office. There's a little something to look forward to. Like you coordinate your office days with, you know, people you know.
Yes.
You
Coordinating the office days.
Yes.
And you go for a drink or two after work and wake up somewhere in Milton Keynes. Yeah, that happened to me one time. I went for drinks with my colleagues after work and I woke up.
Lucky you, I had work drinks that same day.
And then I woke up at a house. So, yeah. But it's interesting to go into the office and connect with people and have friends in the office. That's a whole conversation about friends in the office. That's going to be a whole conversation. Let's move on to this. We read an article the other day where about 200 companies in the UK have actually signed off on their employees working 4 days a week. I would love that. But my question is, this 4 days a week, is it going to still be hybrid? Or is it 4 days a week? Because I feel 4 days a week full on going to the office is not going to change anything. That's just my opinion. Well, for me now, I don't know how parents used to manage working in office 5 days a week.
I have no idea.
During the time, like before COVID, when they had to go into the office. Because right now, presently, I can't even take care of myself going into the office 3 days a week, 4 days a week sometimes. So I wonder how parents used to do it at the time. And I can't even do it now.
I don't know how they did it. I have no idea how they did it. So a few people I know at work have flexible working accommodations where they work 4 days a week. And that's like, you know, post having kids. So I guess on their return to work from maternity, they were able to negotiate a more flexible working. But even then, right, they still do the 4 hours, right? They do 37 to 40 hours a week. They're just starting early, finishing late, and doing really long hours for 4 days a week.
It's stressful.
It's so stressful, and it's just for 1 day off, right? It's just for one additional day. So they're still spending a lot of money on childcare. That's our sleep day. But no, it's not. It's the 1 day you're not paying for childcare, basically.
Yeah, and childcare is so expensive.
Childcare is expensive. I have looked at it.
I know you have. I know you.
It's crazy expensive. I don't know how they're doing it.
When we get there, we'll find out. When we get there, we'll find out because it's expensive. Finally, I want to know what your work-life balance is like. What would you say is, yes, this is me having a work-life balance?
I think being able to switch off work is what I would consider as work-life balance, and I don't currently have it.
Okay.
I don't currently have it. I've not had it in a while.
I know.
I've not had it in a while, and I'm struggling to do it. So, like, you know, even when you talked about earlier about how you would, get home and you bring your laptop back out to try and get some more work done. I don't typically do that, but I work weekends.
Okay.
Right? I work weekends. I don't know. It depends on we have like different cycles because again I work in IT, so we have release cycles, and during release cycles they have to go in over the weekend to have less impact. Yeah. So I work weekends during those stretches, but sometimes just back to back to back to back of weekends, and it's a lot. And then again, like I have stretches where again because I have to work with people from different countries, different time zones. Sometimes I have to start really early. But then it's not as simple as finishing early because I'm now overlapping with people at a later time zone. So it's like,
so you don't have work-life balance?
I don't. I'm trying.
Where does traveling fall into all of this? Because I like a holiday.
Oh, girl, you were outside all year.
Last year.
All year last year.
I was catching flights.
You were catching flights.
But when I was traveling
vicariously through you,
but
honestly.
You went to Malta though.
I did go to Malta. Okay, so last year I had 2 trips. I went to Malta and I went to Albania last year.
Oh yes, Albania. She surprised me for my birthday.
I did Albania, yes. I went to Malta last year. So I had planned the year before, and I had this idea of if I don't have something to look forward to, I'll fall and I die. So I planned Malta and I went with the lover, and that was nice.
The lovers. We forgot about them a bit, but yeah, carry on.
But then Albania, I went alone, and I didn't realize it until I was actually doing it that this was my first ever solo trip. I'm like, oh my god, I'm doing a solo trip. It's amazing. But it was I considered it a mental health break. I was I really had been working quite a lot. I was exhausted, and I felt like I need to go somewhere warm and read a book.
Warm
on
is
a
the
beach.
word.
Yes,
Warm.
exactly.
Somewhere warm.
I needed to be somewhere warm. I needed to be on a beach, and I needed to be reading. That's all I wanted. So I didn't do any sightseeing, nothing. The only detail I had was to go and surprise you.
Yeah.
That was
Surprised.
it.
I was surprised. You just showed up at my hotel like, how are you? How are you in Albania, in another country, surprising me for my birthday? We're both like, yeah, I was really surprised. Kudos to my husband and you for that.
You're welcome. Things were different.
Yes. No.
But yeah, I did find a way to travel. But it's interesting you asked that question because this year I have one trip planned, right? I have one trip planned so far, but it's one of those trips where
I have 10 planned.
You have 10 planned.
That I cannot afford. Cannot afford it.
I think my problem is, right, because again, I think I've mentioned we have release cycles, and I have a few different release cycles already scheduled for this year, right? So I want to travel this year, and I'm just struggling to figure out where is the time. Before I even figure out where is the money.
Before the money.
Before I even figure out where is the money.
Plan the journey before the money.
I'm trying to figure out where do I even have the time. Because like all the good times to travel, I have a release. Like I have my schedule, I have my roadmap, right? I have a release this time, I have a release this time, I have a release this time. Okay, can you travel like a month or two before the release? I'm like, oh, but we're going to start testing at this time. And I need to be available for the start of testing.
This is where you need the work-life balance, babe. Work-life. This is where we need the balance.
So yeah, it's like, yeah, where does travel come in? Because I do want to travel, but I'm just looking at the whole year, like all the way until November. I'm just roadblocked by different like milestones.
Our girls' trip was supposed to come somewhere in
Girl,
between.
we will find a way to make it happen.
We don't have the money yet, though. We don't have the money.
We have husbands.
Zero budget, but we have husbands. Girl, get this message and get it straight. There's a girls' trip happening, but we're not paying for it. Just letting you guys know.
Just letting you guys know. Just letting you guys know.
Okay.
But yeah. But next year,
Yeah.
next year, the life will balance because next year I'm turning 30. Next year we're turning 30.
30 gang.
30 gang. Next year we're turning 30.
30, yes.
And I'm going to be outside the whole year. I'm going to be outside
I support that
all
motion.
year.
I support that motion with all of my heart.
Yes.
But none of my money.
You support some of your money.
We will try.
You support some of your money.
We will try. We will try.
Remember the plan is
There's plans.
on a yacht in Dubai.
I don't want to say what we're gonna be doing, but yeah, there's a plan.
There's a plan.
But not with my money. Cause I don't have
You
money.
will have money.
Amen.
You
I
have
receive it.
money.
I receive it.
Bonuses, raises, promotion.
Amen. Okay, so this whole session was about a work-life balance, and to be honest, we have done the work right now. We want to go and balance our life.
it.
So I'm going to be taking you to karaoke, and we're going to let out all of the steam from work for the week, and then hopefully we do it again on Monday.
Back again on Monday.
Thank you so much for this session. It's been lovely having you here as my guest, Tena, and this is Live a Little as a 9-to-5er with JD Obat. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Yo, I need to go and shayo. I need to go and shayo. Shayo. You get you. I'm a white in the